Have a really good think, because somebody you know could earn you a lot of money for very little effort. Think, who do you know that wants to buy a property in Spain? A colleague, a mate, someone in your family, a friend of a friend? If you know someone, go to welcome-estates.com and click the Refer a Friend link. If they buy, you'll pocket a nice chunky thank you from one of Spain's leading estate agents. T's and C's apply. All details at welcome-estates.com.
You know, somebody said to me this morning, why don't you do a Carl Froch versus Joe Calzaghe video poking? I said, you know what, I've done enough of them, man, I really. But you know, every now and then I like to just remind everybody who Calzaghe beat and who Carl Froch beat, because they should have fought, shouldn't they, really? We all know they should have fought, but they didn't, did they? Why didn't they fight? Well, why don't somebody ask Frank Warren? Ask him. I saw what were on offer. Contract like that. Options on Carl Froch. For a mandatory fight, you wanted options on him, but yet they were going on about Eddie Hearn wanting options on mandatories and this and that, but Bricktop were doing it back in day, wasn't he? So the fight never happened. They vacated on the last day, and Froch fought Pascal. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. And really, he went on to fight Hopkins and Jones. They were old men, weren't they, really? Old men. Just look at Froch's CV compared to Calzaghe's. It's night and day, isn't it? It's night and day. I mean, just go look at Joe Calzaghe's first defence. A goat herder from Armenia in Cardiff. Let me just say that again. A goat herder! Branko Sobert. Goat herder. Google him. Herds goats. From Armenia in Cardiff. For a WBO belt that nobody even counted back then. Nobody even counted it. You didn't even get your belt at the time if you won it. Johnny Nelson never got his belt for over 10 years. Nobody even counted the WBO. It's like a snake belt round your jeans in the 70s. Nobody counted it. It don't even look a decent belt, does it? It's brown. There. Should be on foil. Branko Sobot and Emger McKirchen and Tucker Pudwell, the lorry drivers. Remember him? Driving about with boxers Yorkie bars in back. Hey? There were no box wreck in them days. Do you know what I mean? Then you look at the Cobra. You were dealing with Robin Reed and McGee before he even fought Pascal. Calzaghe swerved McGee, who went to Olympians. Froch put him on Planet Orbit. He put Reed on Planet Orbit. Reed battered Calzaghe. They took a point off Reed, robbed him on a split. Kessler, people talk to me about Kessler. Froch went out and fought him in Denmark and dropped him. And they gave it a 10-8 round to Kessler. Just like they did when Robin Reed dropped Otke on the Sauerland show. Froch wasn't bothered. He got jobbed on the cards, didn't he? I'll get him back in England, and he did. And he gave him 50%. All them other people Calzaghe fought. Well, he didn't fight Glenn Johnson, did he? Pulled out 3 times. Third time he pulled out against Glenn Johnson. Bricktop had to pay 100 grand out to Glenn Johnson's management team. Froch just said, yeah, I'll fight Glenn Johnson if I have to do. They fought in Super 6 and he beat him. That was it. End of. Clinton Woods fought Glenn Johnson 3 times. Joe wouldn't even get in ring. Do me a favour. 46-0. Who's he beat? He beat Jeff Lacey and Kessler. That's it. Where's your Bouteilles on his record? Undefeated Bouteilles. Where's your Pascals on there? Come on. Jesus. Dave Starry. Come on. Who's Calzaghe's best wins? Come on. He didn't want to fight anybody. You saw Tyson Fury's interview years ago with Coogan, didn't you, on it? fought British world champions, British guys. He didn't want to fight the top Americans, did he? Jermaine Taylor fight were knocked back. Ask Calzaghe about that one. Jermaine Taylor fight. He didn't fancy that one, did he? It wasn't pop ban on that, it was poo slang, wasn't it? Hey? So who's he beat? Calzaghe, people keep going on about it. Who's he beat? His CV can't put a candle to Carl Froch's CV. Yeah, Carl Froch winning reward as well, then he got beat, didn't he? But he went out there to America, tested himself. Who did Calzaghe ever test himself against? Oh, he ain't going to hear Roy Jones at his peak, or Hopkins, or James Toney. All them guys, Michael Nunn. He could have fought all them, couldn't he? He didn't even fight Clinton Woods. He didn't even fight Clinton Woods. Did he? Then wanted easy fights and easy money like the rest of them. It was started in their era in Manhattan. Hatton and Calzaghe started it. You know, and David A kind of thing. You know, fighting stiffs. You know, passable opponents. Froch just went straight in there, didn't he? Roadmen killers after killers after killers. Death row job. We didn't get that from other lad, did we? There were no death row killers on there, was there? Kessler and Lacey, that were it. That's it. Joe Calzaghe's career will be built around them two fights, Kessler and Jeff Lacey. There's no other fight on there that you can say is a good win. He's got two good wins. What about Froch? Pascal, Durrell. Glenn Johnson, who he won't fight. Robin Reed, who he knocked out. He didn't go to a split with Robin Reed. He put him to kick, didn't he? Fought McGee. Calzaghe didn't fancy him. Knocked him out. You know what I mean? Fought Taylor. He knocked Taylor out. Calzaghe didn't want Taylor, did he? Knocked him out. You know what can I do? What more can I say to these Joe Calzaghe fans? Yeah, he could fight, but let's have it right. Who's he beat? He's got two elite wins on his record. Kessler undefeated, Lacey undefeated, and that is it. He don't match up to Cobras. Maybe it's because it's different eras, I don't know, but when they should have fought, why should Mick Hennessy put thousands of pounds into Carl Froch for him to beat Calzaghe, then have to fight him again, and then have to keep fighting for Warren fighters, Bricktop fighters? What's the point in getting yourself into the #1 position? You get yourself into the mandatory position so you don't have to be tied up with options, having to fight the champion again and again and every other fight. Do you know what I mean, kind of thing? You get into mandatory, you beat the champion, you shouldn't have to beat him again, you should go on your own path. And fortunately for Calzaghe, Bricktop managed to get him out of the situation with Carl Froch, because he were over ill, Calzaghe, when he should have fought Froch. He were finished then. He got dropped in his next two fights in the first round each time. Do you think Carl Froch has laid him off at hook? 30-year-old, 31-year-old? I don't think so. Whereas 40-odd-year-old men let him off hook, like Vladimir let Joshua off hook when he knocked him down. He couldn't finish him off because old men. Don't ain't fighting old men. Go down to any British Legion on a Saturday night, have a scrap with any 65-year-old. You're going to look good, aren't you, if you're a lot younger? Fight somebody your own age and your own size. That's my opinion. No. Calzaghe didn't want it. Bricktop got him out of it and saved his face. It was an hard fight for him. And maybe Carl wanted the big draw he ended up being then. But you fight your mandatories, don't you? If you don't fight your mandatories, you're a coward, aren't you? Hey, that's how it looks to me. So okie dokie. So in my opinion, Froch's CV is better than Calzaghe's. It's the deeper resume, and he's beat more world champions and elite guys. Beat more. And he had half the fights. He had 12 world title fights, Carl Froch. What did Calzaghe have? 20 odd? And he's beat more. So if Calzaghe's beat all them, who were the guys who weren't any good? They were the filler fights from the WBO. Garbage! Okie doke. Peace out. That's me done. That's it. I'm off up to Big Ron's now. Have a good one.
Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com.